when you drop Editor's Toolkit Professional Overlay graphics into your timeline, they're automatically composited into your scene using standardized alpha channel technology. It really couldn't be easier to use. The toolkits do, however, contain more advanced elements that experienced editors can take advantage of. In this segment, we're going to explore the mattes and transitional wipes that are a part of each of the toolkits. These graphics are both fundamental and challenging to use, but if you're ready to take your editing to the guru level, this segment is for you. Mattes, or masks, have been used since the earliest days of film, and indeed were used as special effects in still photography before that. The basic concept is that you mask out part of the frame and substitute something else in its place. The earliest examples were landscapes painted onto glass. While glass matte painting artistry has advanced over the years, the same basic techniques of hand painting effects backgrounds remained the same until computers started making inroads in the early 1980s. While digital matte techniques are radically different from the glass of the past, the concept is still exactly the same. Fundamentally, we need to isolate part of the frame and make it transparent to a background layer. With a computer, you can decide which parts are going to be transparent and which parts are going to be opaque in a binary process. Let's say all of the black parts of the screen are going to be transparent, while all of the white areas are going to be opaque. We don't need to be limited to this on or off sort of transparency on a computer, however, and commonly work with finely graded variable transparency for smooth edges and effects. You'll recall that an animation with an alpha channel has 4 color channels: red, green, blue, and the alpha channel. We can separate all 3 color channels into grayscale images based on luminance that the computer adds color to. The alpha channel can also be visualized as a grayscale image that the computer adds transparency to. A matte, therefore, is just a visible alpha channel of sorts. Compare the standard automatically transparent lower third 2 from Superset 248 of the Editor's Toolkit 10 with the lower third matte 2 to see what I mean. This raises the obvious question, what are mattes for? First of all, not all editing applications support modern embedded alpha channel transparency in a 32-bit color animation. Most do. When you have a choice, I'd always recommend that you try the QuickTime format with an embedded alpha channel using a millions of colors plus codec. If that doesn't work, try the AVI format and an embedded alpha channel uncompressed. In those increasingly rare situations where you cannot use an embedded alpha, you can render the alpha out to a separate file. Guess what that separate alpha channel is going to look like? The black and white mattes and transitional wipes in the Editor's Toolkits are primarily creative tools, however. Here's the colored overlay 1 from Superset 115 and ETK5. It has an embedded alpha and is drag and drop easy to use, and it's trivial to shift the color around if you want. I can completely change the color and even the texture of the animation, however, by using the corresponding overlay matte from the superset by combining it with, say, Jumpback 836 from Volume 21 High Impact 8. You can see how the traveling overlay matte makes the white areas of the animation transparent to one clip and the black areas transparent to another. This is fundamentally how all of the fancy transition effects in your editing software work. Take a look at Full Screen Wipe 2 from Superset 138 and ETK6. Here's how the transitional wipe from that superset looks. It starts out mostly white and gradually shifts to mostly black. By making white areas transparent to one clip, our A roll, and dark areas transparent to another, our B roll, we get an interesting textured transition. Unfortunately, every editing application procedurally handles black and white mattes in a different way, right down to whether white is transparent or opaque by default. Fortunately, we do have explicit step-by-step tutorials up on our website for a handful of applications, including Avid, Premiere, Final Cut Pro, and Vegas. If we don't have a tutorial up yet for your software, check out your software's help system for mattes, track mattes, or traveling mattes for more information. Mattes are one of the oldest and most fundamental special effects techniques in film, and they are well worth the effort to understand and use. If you have any questions about this or any other technical topic, drop the tech team an email or give us a call. We'd be happy to help you out with this or any other technical questions you might have.